What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ryan, and this is the Thunder Channel. On Nootropics, going to talk about Alcar in this, another beginners series. I've been getting a lot of feedback on the beginners series because sometimes the stuff we talk about is over people's heads. So we're going to run through every single compound and certain criteria for that compound or details about that compound. Today we're talking about Alcar, probably one of my favorite nootropics, certainly an early nootropic experiment that I tried when I was first starting nootropics, somewhere around 14, 15 years ago. The compound is just awesome. In the meantime, what supports this broadcast is a couple nootropic products. Number one, Cortex Stack. Look, if you are a business person, if you're a person that likes to be productive and needs brain energy, maybe you just want to clean your house, get Cortex, take 2 capsules. You'll thank me later. Powerful verbal fluency, motivation, mental energy, nootropic stack. Best way to buy the Cortex Stack is auto ship. Auto ships to your door. Think about that. Nootropics ship to your doorstep every month for cheaper than the original price. Get the auto ship option at livecortex.com, or you can also buy it singularly at livecortex.com. All links are in the description below. If this video speaks to you, meaning you're new to nootropics, get Nootropics Ground Zero. It is a video course that I created for people that are new. It is specifically for you, and it's yours truly. Teaches you everything. If you are a guy that needs to raise testosterone, I've taken the last 3 years and perfected a testosterone raising protocol that actually works. It's called the Viking testosterone protocol, and it is upgraded now to include dietary stuff and some other really good stuff. If you're a dude who needs to lose weight, so far extremely successful new program. It's called Shred. Look, we will melt fat off your body and you'll actually feel good through the process. If you need to ascend to the 6-year mark and take a nootropics, really get advanced, get the Nootropics Masterclass. And if you're a middle-aged business person and you fully need brain optimization, energy optimization, hormonal optimization, you're an executive at a big bank, you're an entrepreneur that owns a company, and you just need your brain firing at 150%, work with me. This is my specialty. I usually get the call from big execs or big entrepreneurs or venture capitalists that just need to perform incredibly. They all end up calling me. Work with me for 3.5 months or work with me for 6 months on a one-on-one biohacking basis. Last thing, if you have PSSD, either consider the PSSD Full, which will give us a lot of time to resolve your symptoms, or the PSSD Basic, which will get you on some good regimen and some good feedback. Do all that at livecortex.com. All right, so Alcar. Alcar is affectionately known as acetyl L-carnitine. Alcar is just sort of the short name for it. What is it? It's basically a potent form, a more potent bioavailable form of the amino acid L-carnitine that undergoes basically a chemical reaction called acetylation to become acetyl L-carnitine. It's just a fancy way of saying an acetyl group, an acetyl chemical group is added to L-carnitine to create acetyl L-carnitine. Mostly why that happens is like in the body, you acetylate certain compounds for biotransformation, and like many drugs are processed or chemicals are processed in the body through the acetylation reaction, either by biotransformation into an effective compound or to be metabolized into substances that you can excrete. But as it relates to Alcar, it allows the chemical to cross into the blood-brain barrier, which is just a fluid-filled sac outside of your brain that's meant to protect your brain from things like pathogens. But if you can get certain compounds in there, the effect in your brain, especially nootropic compounds, is a lot more pronounced. The mechanism of action of Alcar. So the acetyl group in acetyl L-carnitine becomes really useful in Alcar because Alcar eventually ends up donating that acetyl group to fatty acid metabolism, and such as acetyl-CoA, and it shuttles then those fatty acids into the mitochondria matrix where fatty acid metabolism occurs. That allows your brain to use free fatty acids as a central energy component inside of cells, which gives you energy. It's like an awesome nootropic, one of my favorite nootropics. In that process too, acetyl-CoA gets sort of lent to the process of building a major memory chemical called acetylcholine. So you end up building a little more acetylcholine in the process, as well as optimizing brain energy profile. Dose range. The dose range on Alcar is 100 to 1500 milligrams. Now that's like a pretty wide dose range. Most people fall in the lower middle end of that, meaning the dose they respond the best to. 300 to 500 milligrams is where most people usually end up. Like, you know, people can take 100 milligrams of Alcar with a stack of like Dynamine and maybe some L-theanine and get a really, really good response. People can take 300 to 500 milligrams of Alcar. That's one of the ways that I use it these days, with a morning supplement regimen and coffee, like right at that same time. My morning supplement regimen is coffee, B vitamins, a 2 a day, some boron, and depending on the day, some St. John's wort. Vitamin D also. Am I taking vitamin C now? No, only when I'm sick. I'm not taking vitamin C. But with the morning supplement regimen and coffee, Alcar is incredible. Effects. Okay, so typically if you take it by itself and like your ideal dose range, you're looking at like a near increase in brain energy, just like the will to want to do stuff. Ultimately, that's what jumpstarts you in terms of productivity and getting to your to-do list. It's like having that energy to do it. Alcar makes that a lot more possible. On the acetylcholine side, because it's donating that enzyme to the production of acetylcholine, you get, slight memory and verbal fluency and central processing benefits from it too. It's not as powerful as like if you were to take a racetam or really, really focus on the cholinergic system, but it gives you just enough so that you've got the energy component and the processing component, and that makes for good productivity. Best used for and with your morning coffee, okay? Again, 200 to 500 milligrams Alcar, and that should significantly optimize that sort of wake up energy feeling. That's honestly what I feel like at this stage with me and a lot of people that I work with on a one-on-one basis with nootropics and brain performance optimization. That's what we use it for. We put it in other stacks too, and there are specific chemicals that Alcar stacks best with. Again, I mean, a lot of nootropic chemicals stack really good, or stack at least somewhat well with like many other nootropic chemicals like on the roster. But Alcar stacks the best with, in my experience, the following compounds. Number 1, Dynamine. Number 2, teacrine. Number 3, theanine. Okay, if you take 200 or 300 or 500 milligrams of Alcar and you add 100 to 200 milligrams of theanine, and you add some caffeine, then you sort of have that caffeine theanine thing going on, but optimized with Alcar. Like you've got the energy asset, and then you've got the sort of chill background leveling aspect of it, and then you get a good balanced stack, and that sort of facilitates flow. It stacks incredibly well with modafinil if you can get the doses right. Lower dose Alcar, 200, 300 milligrams even. Medium dose modafinil, 75 to 100 milligrams is kind of where I'd couch that. Stacks well with oxiracetam. Of the racetams, it stacks the best with oxiracetam and aniracetam. In Smarter, Better, Faster, one of our nootropics books, we've got a whole section of Alcar racetam stacks that you should look at. If you haven't gotten the book, go get it at livecortex.com or get the audiobook version because it's so much cooler. Stacks extremely well with aniracetam as well. Stacks well with vinpocetine and stacks well with alpha GPC. It is, I wouldn't call it a central component. It's like one of the most central components, or like most useful components, like harder hitting components in the AACT stack, which is alpha GPC, Alcar, caffeine, theanine. What you're doing there is you're building upon the caffeine theanine effect, that energy, and then the balance, calmness with theanine. With bringing in Alcar and alpha GPC. Rough template for the AACT stack is 300 milligrams Alcar, 75 to 100 milligrams alpha GPC, 100 to 200 milligrams of caffeine, and then 100 to 200 milligrams of L-theanine. People are going to fall sort of in the middle of all those different doses, so that's just the general template. And that, my friends, is the lowdown, the rundown on Alcar. I probably take Alcar once or twice a week, and sometimes I'll skip weeks where I'm just like focusing on dopamine or something, but it's still very actively in my regimen over the course of a 30-day period. Let's just call it that. So let's recap. What is it? It's a potent form of L-carnitine. It basically gets acetylated, which makes it more bioavailable. Acetylation happens in your body with certain compounds for biotransformation and thus bioavailability. It also, in its acetyl-CoA chemical element donates a little bit of that chemical to the production of acetylcholine, really the synthesis of acetylcholine. Not an acetylcholine building block, not a precursor. It's not alpha GPC or CDB-choline. They work differently. Dose range 100 to 1500 milligrams. Effects typically taken by itself. Near instant increase, like 20 minutes after taking, of brain energy, slight verbal fluency, slight memory, slight central processing increases. Best used with morning coffee, okay? A couple hundred milligrams, 200 to 500 with your coffee. Ideally a B complex and sort of a morning stack of good supporting chemicals get you fully optimized in that morning productivity period where you have to eat the frog and do like your most important stuff. Alcar just helps that. I mean, like, why not have something like that in the mix? Cycling. Somebody asked me to talk about cycling with a lot of these compounds. Look, ultimately, no nootropics should be taken every single day, but you can get away with taking Alcar like 3-4 days a week and honestly not have an issue with it. I mean, ideally, you want to have a bunch of different stacks that you switch between that are intelligently working on different systems to keep everything balanced, prevent downregulation, prevent tolerance, and all these kind of things. But look, plenty of people, including myself at various points over the last 15 years, take Alcar, somewhat consistently, 3-4 times a week. Stacks best with dynamine, teocrine, theanine, modafinil, oxiracetam, aniracetam, vinpocetine, and alpha GPC. Stacks well with a lot of other things, but those are the primary compounds it seems to stack best with. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Look, if this video spoke directly to you, meaning you're new to nootropics, get Nootropics Ground Zero, because that's going to speak way more to you and give you so much information that'll probably save you about 3 years of research and experimentation. It's for people that are new to nootropics, and I wrote it. It's a video course of me. It's awesome. It's probably one of the best products we have, certainly one of the most bought products that we have. Get that at livecortex.com. Cortex Stack. Look, Cortex auto ship is blowing up. We have an endless cap for auto ship, but get on it. Don't waste time. Go get nootropics shipped to your doorstep every month for cheaper. It's $27.99 a month right now to get Cortex auto ship. I mean, think about the investment there. Like, how much do you spend on coffee? Like, if you go to Starbucks or something, how much do you spend on Gatorade? How much do you spend on stuff that doesn't make sense? Having something that's going to fully optimize the one central thing that runs your life, which is your brain, is a good idea. Get Cortex auto shipped to your doorstep, livecortex.com. A couple slots just opened up on the 6-month intensive. So if you're one of those business people or otherwise people that fully needs brain optimization, work with me for 6 months, livecortex.com. By the way, those consults also apply to people with heavy chemistry issues. Like, some of our clients are people that were taking Adderall for a long time and their brains are sort of messed up. The dopamine response is desensitized. They don't really respond to stimulants. They have anhedonia. They've got sexual dysfunction. We can help a wide variety, a wide range of people's issues. I've been fixing chemistry problems that doctors look confused about and won't even go down the pathway of trying to solve for at least 5 years. That includes PSSD. There's a PSSD full and a PSSD basic. Look into that at livecortex.com. Any questions about any of these consults and working with me, email me, ryan@livecortex.com. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Talk to you next time.